Scott's coming in. He's got his Muay Thai ankle protectors on. It's always a good sign that he wants to start throwing some kicks.
Or checking some kicks.
Which
he might have to do if REM MMA are bringing the thunder like they say they are. Damien Gojski looking to keep it standing, and maybe Scott Jenkinson sees that and wants to keep it standing too. Give a great show for the fans. Heavyweight standing up is a really intense activity, isn't it, Chris?
It is. And do you think this small cage makes a difference to how a striker can perform? Because obviously they want to have footwork, they want to be circling, and the size of the cage makes it a little bit different. It's not quite as big as like a UFC cage.
Yeah, that will play a factor, won't it? It tends to cause fighters to draw themselves together more, getting into either clinch mode or grappling positions against the fence, which, like you say, can prevent them from getting to that apex of the punch, which is where the knockout range is. But maybe they'll just stand in the center and bang it out.
So introducing first the fighter in the red corner.
I'm always optimistic.
110.6 kilograms. Fighting out of REM MMA, Damien Gojski.
Damien looking super focused and confident.
And his opponent, the fighter in the blue corner, weighing 105.8 kilograms. Fighting out of Lockdown MMA, Scott Jenkinson.
So Scott a few kilos lighter. Do you think that's it's like about 10 pounds between them? Do you think it's going to make a difference?
We're right here close to the Lockdown MMA corner. So we're in the blue corner here, taking a look from that side. Scott Jenkinson there in the Venom shorts.
Oh, coming out big straight leg kick. Oh, these guys are slinging some leather.
He's not moving his head enough.
Oh, both guys with their hands a little low.
Oh, Damien's going over the top there.
I'd like to see Damien keep his hands just a little bit higher, but swinging around, he's looking for that protection. A big overhand right from Scott.
All right, but he gets backed up in the counter by Damien.
Oh.
Gojski looking for that big left hook there on the exit.
They're clearly both strikers, both moving well, great footwork, big kick there.
Oh, that's everything you hope to see. Two heavyweights throwing down in the middle of the cage.
Oh,
big right hand.
Caught him with a big overhand right, and he's pressing up against the cage now.
Saving grace there for Damien Gojski was probably the fact that he was ducking away from the punch at the time, and now he's pressed up against the fence.
I'd like to see him separate because he did some damage with that punch and used to capitalise on it now and make some space.
Yes, Scott Jenkinson could look to make space, maybe post out with an arm and fire in with the left, or finish with leg kicks and circle out. Damien Gojski trying to land knees there, but you can't really get a lot of power there with your back against the fence.
No, it's very difficult. And just to mention to our listeners, this is under A-class rules, so this means if they hit the floor, they're allowed to ground and pound each other. They're still pressed up against the fence. And this looks like not a lot is happening, but you know from your wrestling background, this is very exhausting, all that pressure on you constantly.
All depending on what mindset these gentlemen are in. If they, like it seems to, they want, there we go, we back out and we're looking for striking. If they want to strike there in the clinch, it becomes a little bit of a nothing match.
Some kind of good, so the big guys can look a bit tired, but these two are looking very fit.
There you go, big leg kick, chopping. Oh, check that, returns.
I think he felt that one. He was he reacted and grimaced a bit on that one.
Yep, Scott Jenkinson
He's come back,
looking to establish dominance. Even only given 17% of the vote, he's pressing the action here and arguably winning the round. But Damien Gojski's got those double underhooks. What I would really like to see him do is just turn the wheel like you're turning a big Mack truck wheel and just circle out to get your opponents back against the fence.
So you wouldn't even say just separate, just try and push, so he's pushing him against the fence.
Try to circle him out, and that could make him disengage. There we go. He pushes off, takes a deep breath. Damien Gojski.
Yeah. I think Damien's starting to look a little bit more fatigued than Scott. Scott's still looking
big
very
right
sharp,
hands,
but he's
big right hands.
Big shots.
Scott answers back with a right of his own.
Some big swinging going on.
And now looks to clinch and big double.
Amazing takedown. Great double leg there. Got both legs. Good.
Has he got both legs? He's looking for a mounted position.
I think he's stuck in half guard at the moment. And Damien is from more of a striker's gym, and it's going to be interesting to see his level on the floor. I think he's being pressed up against the fence at the moment, which is making it very difficult.
This could be a fish out of water here with Damien Gojski on the bottom. Scott Jenkinson looking to posture up there in half guard and possibly rain down some ground and pound. Like Chris said earlier, A-class rules. Oh, big right hands landing.
And what I'd like to see Damien do is get a underhook with his left hand, which he's just about done now, and try and get onto his right side. Oh, end of the round. So I think that was probably a round for Scott. What do you think?
That was pure domination, wasn't it, really? And Scott's a little bit slow to get to his feet, taking his time, relaxing. That's what you want to see your fighters do in the corner. And I've cornered a few fights in my day, Chris, and just seeing these two fighters here We've got Scott Jenkinson feeling obviously optimistic, feeling very confident going into this second round. He's calm, he's cool, his corner's talking to him, where we've got Damien Gojski in the other corner, leaning on his corner men, obviously exhausted. That takedown and the sheer terror of being taken down and having somebody pounding on top of you can wear you out.
Yeah, but also Scott from Lockdown MMA, I think maybe he was he was really trying to finish the fight there at the end from half guard, and maybe was using a little more energy than he could have done, just trying to put him away and finish the fight. And I think they're both breathing pretty heavy, and it's going to be interesting to see how much action there is in the second round. Sometimes heavyweights can really slow down.
You have to also count those leg kicks by Scott Jenkinson from the first round. Those are going to be really seeping in to the narrative of this fight right now.
Yeah, I think Damien's going to be walking a bit funny tomorrow.
Yeah, let's see how he steps on it right now. Yeah, he doesn't have not a lot of pressure on it. Looks to check the kick immediately.
Leg kick again.
Yeah, he's giving those leg kicks respect, and Scott goes a little bit high there.
Oh, great right hand. Really, really sharp that.
And again, Scott ducks out.
Just blocked it.
You'd like to see maybe the difference between these two fighters is a little bit of movement. Obviously, Scott is taking those leg kicks, and when you leg kick, you're usually off the center line, which can really help with your movement in the striking range.
Well, Scott being the smaller fighter, he seems to actually be having more success at kind of leaning on Damien. And Damien, even though he's a bit bigger, is getting pushed back. And maybe it's a slight disparity in strength going on. Or technique.
Possibly. Scott, well, you talk about technique, and Scott's got his head right into the lower jaw there of Damien Gojski. And that is very good technique, because that's a great way of keeping your opponent against the fence and making sure that they're not going to be able to turn and escape or even drop for a takedown.
Well, they're both some foot stomps in there. So under the Battle Arena rules, foot stomps are fully legal.
But we all feel like they're a little bit dirty sometimes.
Yeah, I would never throw one, but if you've got those big fat feet, then it's a little bit different.
Yes, definitely. If you could end somebody's night just with a little stomp, why wouldn't you? Big knee up through the middle by Scott Jenkinson.
Both working.
There we go,
body.
inside, right uppercut, lovely.
Some great dirty boxing going on here.
Channeling a little bit of Mike Tyson, I think there. Rip to that spleen and rip to the head again. Come on, Scott Jenkinson. Maybe post out and start landing some punches.
When I think of this dirty boxing with the working inside in MMA, I often think of Randy. I think he's dropped him with a body
big
shot.
Big right hands to the body, it caused him to drop.
A big right hand to the body.
Good stoppage.
Excellent. It wasn't the headshots that you saw at the end there that finished him. It was a right hand to the body that hurt the ribs, I think. It was a really great shot, well timed.
Those were brilliant. He was just chaining those punches in, looking for the finish. Not necessarily any one of those looking like a knockout punch, but together they were deadly.
And Scott's cardio is very impressive. He's a big guy, 105 kilos, and throwing some punches at the end of that second round. You know, he's 7 or 8 minutes into fighting. Still great cardio. Even now he doesn't look that tired. I think he could keep going all night.
Some guys are 105 kilos, but 102 kilos worth of heart and lungs. And that's definitely what Scott Jenkinson is today. Really good work. And you got to give props to Damien Gojski, because obviously those leg kicks were hurting him from the first round. He came out, tried his best checking, but he just didn't have any power to push himself off the back of the fence there.
I think he was doing really well.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for our first fight of the afternoon. And your winner by a TKO after 1 minute 38 seconds on the second round. From the blue corner, Scott Jenkinson. Now make some noise for our runner-up, Damien Gojski. Damien, you winner, Scott. Good finish. How you feeling after that? Yeah, nice to get the ring rust on. Yeah, good couple of rounds in the bag as well. So it was a nice body shot you got when you walk against the fence. That's something you've been working on. Yeah. Bit tired, enjoying yourself. So ladies and gentlemen, make some more noise for your winner, Scott Jenkinson.